Today we're going to work on adding and subtracting rational expressions. That needs focusing, sorry. Oh, okay. There we go. Adding and subtracting rational expressions. Well, to be able to add two fractions together, I must have a common denominator. Well, if you look at my problem, both of my denominators are exactly the same, so I can just add the tops together. X and 2x is 3x. 3 and 5 is 8, and I keep the denominator. Now, this is not in what we would call factored form, so I would want to factor my denominator. What multiplies to give me -5, it's having problems. What multiplies to give me -5 and adds up to +4. Well, that would be a +5 and a -1. +5 and -1. So I'm going to rewrite my denominator as x plus 5 and x minus 1. That leaves my numerators to stay exactly the same. When I have common denominators, all I have to do is add the top. Now, if I'm asked to find in factored form, I need to factor my denominator. Well, let's look at another problem in which my denominators are not the same. Let's move over here to problem number 7. If I look at my two denominators here, I see that one of them is x plus 4, and the other one's 4. Okay, so to find a common denominator, I can multiply the two together. Now, I do notice that the 4's are the same on top and bottom, and they can and will cancel. I can either cancel them now, or I can cancel them at the end. I'm going to wait and cancel them at the end, but they can cancel now and make our problem may be a little bit easier. So this problem, to find our common denominator, I multiply these two together. So this will get x plus 4, and this one will have a 4. So now you see my two denominators are exactly the same. Well, where I added the 4 on the denominator here, I also have to add it on the numerator. On this one where I added x plus 4 here, I've also got to add it on the top. Now that I have a common denominator, I will multiply out and subtract my two terms. 4 times x minus 4 times 2. Now minus 4x times x minus 4x times 4. Now I need to combine my like terms in this problem so that I have -4x squared minus 12x minus 8. Let me zoom out just a little bit. There we go. Minus 8, all divided by 4 times x plus 4. Again, I notice that all of these have a 4, and I also notice that they're all negative. So I'm going to pull out a -4 because it may make factoring some of the rest of that a little easier. So I'm going to take out the -4, and that leaves me with x squared plus 3x plus 2. Well, what multiplies to give me 2 and adds up to 3? What multiplies to give me 2 and adds up to 3? Well, that would be 2 and 1. So this will factor to x plus 2, x plus 1, and then my denominator, 4 times x plus 4. Alright, I am almost finished with this problem. I notice that my 4's are still there, so they can cancel out. And my remaining answer is negative x plus 2 times x plus 1 over x plus 4. Sometimes I'll have to factor first before I do finding my denominator. I see this has got some things that are in common to them both. So I'm going to factor this. I see a 3 and an a will go into both. That leaves me with a minus 4. And this has my 3a. So I notice that they both have a 3a in my denominator, but this one needs an a minus 4. So I'm going to put that to top and bottom. This has been factored, so I'm going to lightly mark that out. My new denominator, 3a times a minus 4. Now I'm going to multiply out and combine like terms for my numerator. My first term, 3a plus 4, nothing changed there because I didn't need to add anything to this denominator. This side, I've got to do my distributive property and multiply that out. A times a squared. A times negative 4, negative 4a. 5 times a, 5a. And 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. Now all of that is still on the numerator of my problem. Well, I see here I have some like terms that I need to combine, so I'm going to do that. I have just the a squared there. I have 3a minus 4a plus 5a. Well, I'm going to add my positives first. 3a and 5a is 8a minus 4a is 4a. 4 and negative 20 is negative 16. And on bottom, 3a and a minus 4. Now, I want to look at this and determine if it factors. Does anything multiply to give me negative 16? Multiplies to give me negative 16 and adds up to a positive 4. Well, now I need to think through that process. So I'm going to think of all the things that multiply to give me 16. 1 and 16. And since it's negative, I'll need negative 1 and positive 16. That doesn't work. Negative 1, positive 16. Nope. Negative 2 and positive 8. Well, that doesn't add up to positive 4. That gives me 6. Negative 4 and positive 4. That gives me 0. So nope, that doesn't work either. So this is my answer, and it is in simplified form. To add and subtract rational expressions, you must have a common denominator. You must make your denominators the same, and then add and subtract according to what the problem says for your numerator.